Boom. What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay Money, man. We got our guy Ralph Michaels here with us from Wager Talk, man. The pin man, man. We'll have Skee joining us here as well here in a second, my guys. Gonna break down some NBA games. The second show of the day, guys. If you guys know, we do two shows on the NBA show. But Ralph, how you doing, my brother? How you been doing over at Wager Talk?
Doing great on a nice red hot run, and I wanted to join you and Skee today because we have a nice promo at Wager Talk. You buy a week and you get the other person for free. So if you go to my page or Skee's page, you'll see that a week of NBA, $49. Skee is plus 85.52 units the past 365 days. I was number one in NBA last year, up over 106 units the last year.
Got you. Yeah, doing well over there, man. I know my guy Skee as well. Guys, killing it over there, man. Everybody that's in the chat, man, we appreciate you tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe, free picks every single day, man. If you can, hit that share button as well, man. Share to your social media platforms here. But now, here, Ralph, let's get to this first game up, man. If you don't mind, let's go over here to the streets of Orlando. And this is an early start here as well. Magic getting 7.5 points versus the Mavs in this one. Me personally, I like the Magic in this game. Nobody likes him, but I like him. I know Banchero is questionable in this one, but this is a spot where I kind of got a little nudge that Luka wants the game tomorrow a lot more versus Porzingis up there. Dinwiddie as well going up against his old squad. So seeing a much bigger spot on deck for the Mavs. I like this spot for the Magic here, getting 7 points. I actually see this as a game where they could possibly win outright. Ralph, how you looking at this game?
You know, I'm breaking down, and very few offenses in the NBA are better than Dallas. In fact, this year, they've had 5 games already where they've shot over 50%. The defense, they've had one defensive game, but prior to that, they allowed over 45% in 6 of the last 7. But look at Orlando. Orlando did not top 50% in their first 6 games. What's happened the last 3? They've shot 53.8, 54.3, 54.9, and guess what? They've allowed over 50% in 3 straight. That's the reason the Magic have gone over in 5 straight games. The last 3, the games have been 159, 259, 249, and 261. Give me the over in this one. Dallas defense intensity, like you say, I think is going to be down a little bit, but we know their offense can score with anybody.
Yeah, that's a good point there. And expecting maybe not the top tier defense coming from the Mavs here as night as well, as they probably take a little bit of not going to say they're guaranteed going to take a night off here, but me personally liking the Magic here. 4 straight home game, revenge spot as well, where they just lost to them by 9 points. They started out their game 23-13, led for 3 quarters in that one, and then kind of sputtered out late. And also the Mavs, first game of back-to-back. They're 0-4-1 against the spread last 5 games. Teetering on a loss here. Give me the Magic in this one, my guys. That's what I'm liking in this one. Let's get over here to the next game. Let's go over to the streets of Brooklyn. But real quick, man, let's bring our guy Skee Profit, man, in this effort. What's up with you, Skee, my guy? Everything cool with you?
Man, I'm having trouble with my computer. I had to get my backup laptop over here. My other one's still not working, so hopefully it goes smooth. And if you have any issues, just let me know, and I'll do my best to work with it. But good to be with you guys. Ralph, I don't get to do too many shows with you, but I know you were killing the NBA last year. Jay, I know you kill the NBA. I got a little shirt from Ronald with us on the front, so let's rock and roll. Let's do it.
I like it. That's the good vibe shirt right there, Skee. We talking about this net. We went over here to the streets of Brooklyn real quick, where we talking about the Nets laying 3.5 versus the Knicks. They have somewhat owned them here in years past. 7-0 straight up, last 7 versus the Knicks, but only 3-4 against the spread. Do you think that they can win or get the cover here, or do the Knicks try to get some revenge in this one, Skee?
Well, I don't trust the Knicks in general. I feel like, you can say for both teams, I feel like they've been playing. The Nets have been really good in the first half and then sometimes let the game go. But I feel like the Knicks have been doing that a little bit more than the Nets. And it was one game specifically recently. I can't think of it, but I was on the Knicks full game. They were winning that game by like 20 points. It was versus Atlanta. They won that game by like 20 points, ended up losing the game by like 20 points. Mm-hmm. After that, I just felt like it was a red flag for that team. And then now you got the Nets, no more distraction with Kyrie. They won 2 out of 3 games. I know they lost to Luka, but that has to be a weight off of everybody's shoulders. They got their head coach now, Jacques Vaughn, and that's a guy that was respected in that locker room even before KD and Kyrie came. So I think they'll buy into what he's doing over there. The defense for the Nets, last 5 game stats tell me they're number 2. So if they picking it up on that end, I definitely think they have enough offense to win these games. So it's Nets or pass for me if I'm playing that game.
I'm right there with you. See, Nets or pass for me, Ralph. How you looking at this game, my guy? You think the Nets can keep it going, continue this good play, or do the Knicks finally get some revenge over their arch rival?
I don't think so. You've seen a change in the past. I mean, the Knicks defense kept them in games early, yet they couldn't manage because the offense played so poorly. Hell, they didn't allow over 46% in 7 of their first 8 games. But the last 2 weeks, they played better offensive teams in Boston and Minnesota. So you now have that second straight road game after playing Minnesota. Yes, it's across city, so it's not really. But I look at the Brooklyn Nets defense, and that's what impresses me the most. They allowed 48% or higher in 5 of the first 6 games. Take a look. Their last 3 games, 36.1, 36.8, and 44.4. We just talked about that Dallas offense in the first game against Orlando. So holding Dallas to 44% to me on the road wasn't incredible. I love when teams play defense, and anytime I get a team that can play defense with the better offense as well, it's either play that team or pass the game for me.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Obviously, the Nets have been really lackluster at the house as well, but are starting to play a lot better. They've had really good success versus the Knicks in years past. Obviously, they're down some players in this one. They won't even have Watanabe. They're kind of backup center off the bench. So it's a tough game for me. I can really see it going either way. Usually when I see that happening, I don't play the game, my guys. So it's a stay off for me. Let's go over here to the streets of Detroit go over here to not Detroit, but we do have the Pistons going against the Celtics. We went to the streets of Boston here. You got the Celtics laying 12.5, starting to get up to 13 here. So the Celtics starting to gain some steam in this one, Skee. You think that the Celtics can take these Pistons to Smack City here?
I think the Celtics have been playing a lot better basketball. My bad.
No, Skee, I was going to say, come on, Mr. Rest Advantage. Come on, what you like here?
I'm always going to look for the rest advantage, but I feel like just in general, the Celtics been playing a lot better basketball than the Pistons have shown so far. I have Celtics number 2 offensive rated team. They've been better on defense and a better rebounding team. So stats I care about show me Celtics. This was not a game I really wanted to bet. I can tell you're a lot more excited than me, but if I was going to place a wager here, I think I would continue to play on Isaiah Stewart. I feel like he's been balling. 4 out of his last 5 games, he's had a double-double, and they've been offering plus money to take it. So last game I cashed with him, and I think if I was getting involved here, I would go that route. And real quick, Jay, two things. Did you guys touch on the Denver and Indiana game? And also, I'm going to just switch over while you go to Ralph to my other computer because it works a little bit better for me.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, we didn't talk about that Pacers game. If you like, Skee, we can get to that one at the end, my brother. But go ahead and switch over to the other computer, my guy. Ralph, in this one, my brother, how you looking at this game? Boston Celtics laying 12.5/13 at the house versus the Pistons.
Well, I bet one NBA game today, and I gave my clients one game, and this is it. So as my best bet, this will be my best bet. And let me just start by saying, I normally don't lay doubles in the NBA. But when I took a look at double-digit favorites, they've actually covered 54.3%. So it hasn't been a negative. It's not a great number. But what I did look at is the Pistons and a system I like using. The Pistons were down 15 to OKC, made a huge comeback in the second half to win. And when teams that trailed by 8 or more at halftime and are now a dog of 7 or more, in the last 118 games, they've only covered 39.3%. So that's a 60% fade system. And to me, it makes a lot of sense. You're at home. You had a huge comeback. You had to exert a lot of effort in the second half. Pistons, last in shooting percentage. Their last 3 games, they've shot 41.8, 37.3, and 41.8%. That's 40% for a 3-game stretch. And on the road, they're only shooting 41.9%. Celtics shooting over 50% at home. Yeah, they did come into the Memphis game having failed to cover 5 of the 7. but they've won 3 straight. You beat Chicago, you go to New York, you beat them, you go to Memphis to beat them. I think that's the confidence you need to turn this over. I'm going to lay the wood. I did lay the wood. And again, if you're an all-access client of mine, you know you already got this game.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Skee wasn't liking the dog in this one here. It's a tough game for me. It's not something that I'm official on, but just the way when I do my notes looking at the game, it was kind of surprising. The Pistons are 8-0 against the spread last 8 games versus Celtics. I don't know what it is, but every single time they seem to play them, they seem to cover the spread. The road team is also 5-1 against the spread last 6 meetings. You got the Celtics here only sitting at 1-3 against the spread last 4 games, 2-6 against the spread last 8 games as well. So they're kind of just winning the game, but not really blowing teams out. And this was the kicker here for me. This is their 4th game in 6 days for the Celtics. Just me personally, if I am betting this game, I'm looking towards the dog here. I know that their offense is trash. The defense hadn't been playing well as well, but you do have the underdog here catching over double digits with the major rest advantage. So the only way I could look at this one is play the Pistons plus the 12.5 or plus the 13. They could possibly keep it close versus the Celtics. It's just the way I'm looking at it, my guys. Not something I absolutely love. But let's go over here to the streets of Atlanta here, where we got the Hawks laying 4 points versus the Utah Jazz here, guys. Jazz absolutely hot, sitting at the number 1 seed over there in the West. Skee. Jazz are balling. Hawks 3rd straight game at the house. Trey's kind of questionable. How you looking at this game?
It's kind of tough for me because a lot of my numbers, recent performance things are telling me to play certain teams, and it just doesn't seem like the right situation for today. Jazz, like you mentioned, they've been balling. They've won 9 out of 12. Obviously, my last 5 game recent performance, that's all favor Utah. But I feel like they've been playing a lot lately. If I'm not mistaken, it's their 3rd game in 4 nights. And Atlanta, we know they're a lot better at the house. So I'm in general looking to play on them in these kind of spots, but they also play tomorrow. So I found this game really challenging. I think if I have to play, I want to back Atlanta at the house just because I think they're the better team. So just a lean from me. I can tell you like the card a lot more than me today. It's a few spots I do love and do like, but this is not one of them.
Yeah, it's a good point, Ralph. How you looking at this game, my guy? We got the Hawks at the house laying 4 versus the Utah Jazz.
I do like Atlanta, and really the reason I like them is just looking at what Utah's done. You know, they've reeled off 6 straight covers. They won 5 of the 6 with the loss at Dallas, which isn't a bad loss. But, you know, you've played the Lakers, you played the Clippers, you played the Lakers. So your offense looks damn good if you're going to play the Lakers 2 out of the last 3 games. So I think their shooting percentage, they topped 50.5% against Lakers game 1. They shot 55.8% against the Lakers in game 2. That gives you very misleading. When you're at home, you're playing the worst defense there is in the Lakers. You shoot lights out at 56%. You can't live with that kind of run again. And the Hawks, the last 3 games, 41%, 43%, 41%. That's the best 3-game performance for any NBA team in that stretch. And you also look at Atlanta. Boy, they take care of the ball. They've had single-digit turnovers in 4 games already this year. And in the last 3 games, they've only had 32 turnovers. So a team that can take care of a ball against a team with very misleading stats for a couple of games because of their strength of schedule.
I like it. That's a good point, man. That's a good point. Obviously the Jazz been balling out. It's a tough game for me, man. I do lean the Hawks. This line was down to 2.5, 3 early this morning. Maybe somebody knows that Trae Young's going to play it, start to get it hit up to 4. They do have the rest advantage as well. 3rd straight home game. Obviously the Jazz, they've been balling out, but they have been traveling all over the place as well. So this is a spot in here. It's Atlanta or nothing for me in this spot, my guys. Let's get over here to the streets of Chicago real quick, where we got the Bulls getting a couple of points here at the house. I did see that Drummond is going to play, so at least they got a little bit size down low. But the Pelicans just have a ton of guys. They're number 1 in the league at points in the paint. They love to do that. Not sure if the Bulls can really defend that, Skee. What do you think? Do the Pelicans kind of get back on track here?
Well, it's a spot. The last spot just was a terrible spot for them. They were playing too many games, too much overtime, all that good stuff. I think, or bad stuff. I think they're the much better team in this matchup, and they're healthier right now. So if I was going to play this game, it's not one in my pocket. I would look more towards player props. I'm looking at Ayo. He's went over his point prop. I think it was hovering around 10. That's a guy that I'm targeting here. For the other side, I would be looking towards CJ assists. But I like the ugly games, and this is not one of them. If I have to pick a side, I'll pick the Pelicans just because I think they're better.
I like it. I could not talk you off that. Ralph, what do you think about this? They got the Bulls getting two at the house versus the Pelicans.
No, I'm not going to disagree with Skee much, but since he really didn't bet this game, nor did I bet the game, but I clearly lean Chicago. You look at the Pelicans. I mean, hell, they haven't played back-to-back games in the same venue since October 25th. They had a home game against Dallas. You go to Phoenix. You go to Clippers. You go to the Lakers. Then you're at the Lakers. You fly home to play Golden State for a game. Then they send you back on the road to go to Atlanta, to go to Indiana, to go to Chicago. That's too tough of a spot for me to take. Meanwhile, Chicago played back-to-back against Toronto. They had a big performance. And again, I'm a big defensive numbers guy. In 3 of the last 4 games, they've held foes to 43% or less. I like the way the Bulls are playing. DeRozan's put the team on his back of late. Levine has been there, and Vukovic again. You've got those 3 guys that combat what Williamson is doing. I like the Bulls.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. They're agreeing with you in the chat, liking Pelicans maybe early in that one, but full game-wise, looking at the Bulls. Pelicans have been playing a ton of games here. This is the first game of a back-to-back. It's not. I can see this being a real toss-up type of game, so nothing for me on this one, my guys. Let's see. My guy Skee here wanted to go to one of these games. Yeah, we was missing some games there. Let's go over here to the streets of Oklahoma City real quick for my guy Skee. He's like, he wants to talk about this game. We got the Thunder getting 6 points versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Skee, you like something here?
Yeah, you have Drew Holiday's doubtful for this game, right? So missing the starting point guard obviously will affect the offense for Milwaukee. And I think Giannis was even on the injury report. I think he's more closer to playing. But I'm looking at that, and these teams did play less than a week ago. I'll start off with that. And when the teams play within a week, the first game went under. The bookmakers adjust the second game number towards the under. They're already telling you how they're expecting it to go. And I look at this one, you have top 10 defensive rated teams, both of them, last 5 games. They're both bottom 10 shooting the 3. So, and Milwaukee 7th defending the 3, OKC 12th defending the 3. So I do think both teams play with pace. I just don't think the offense is going to trump the defense in this game. And I think we get another under. Last 5 games for Milwaukee have all stayed under the 219.5. I know the number has dipped a little bit since I bet it this morning, but I still would take it at 217.5. The system that I mentioned in the beginning, the under is hitting at 61.6%, and it's hit, I believe, 10 of the last 11 times. So I'm on the under in Milwaukee and OKC.
You made some good points there, Skee. I might have to ride with you on that one, Ralph. What do you think about that? This total has definitely come down a whole 3 points. And without Drew Holiday, he made some good points there for the under. Do you like to play as well, Ralph?
Yeah, I agree with the under. I have no real opinion in the game, but again, Milwaukee's defense is playing lights out. They have not let any opponent to shoot 48%. So, I mean, when you're this deep into a season and do it, I'm never going to get to the OKC side with the Bucks off a loss. So, but I don't want the Bucks without Holiday. So, that puts me looking at the total. Well, we already know we have the defensive prowess of Milwaukee Bucks. You look at OKC, they've had some nice games playing defense. The Milwaukee game, they held Milwaukee to 42% last game, and then they held Detroit to 41%. And then their offense hasn't performed. So I didn't look at the game totals-wise, but looking at as you guys are talking makes perfect sense on the under to me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that. The under is the only way I could look at that one. It's not an inspiring game, but be interested if Giannis plays in that one. Tough game for me, my guys. Tough game for me. But now let's go over here to the streets of Minnesota here, my guys, where we got the Timberwolves getting 1 point versus the Phoenix Suns in this one. This line did come down. It was sitting at 3 for the Suns, starting down to 1 with the status of Rudy Gobert coming in here, Skee. You like something here in this Wolves versus Suns spot?
Yeah, I'm just double checking to make sure Aiden is okay, and I don't see him on the injury report at all. So, I mean, this is how I feel about this game. The previous game for Phoenix, the line was short. I think it was their first game on the road, and they had some kind of traveling, funky travel spot or something like that. And you could just kind of see, that the number was short, and they ended up losing that game. The number looks short again in this one, but I'm not that quick to get to Minnesota. I just don't like how they've been playing lately. I don't want to go against Phoenix off of a loss, and Phoenix defense, a lot more trustworthy. They're top 10 compared to bottom 10 for Minnesota last 5 games. So I would go the other way. I think the line is moving the wrong way. I would go Phoenix -1 in this game.
Yeah, that's a good point, Ralph. And the Suns in the bounce back spot as well. They just got smacked up, only scored 88 points versus the Sixers in that one. And so now they come in here with a bounce back spot versus the Wolves, who are not playing well right now. Ralph, you like anything here?
Well, Skee talked about defense. Again, I look at game-by-game logs with shooting percentage, and you maybe see 1 out of every 10 or 12 games where a defense holds an opponent under 40%. Phoenix has done it back-to-back games. They held Portland to 38%. They held Philly to 38.7%. We've seen a little bit of the offense struggling, the last couple games. And Minnesota, I think we talked about it on the show. Minnesota's played the weakest schedule by far. Then they went to Phoenix and they got exposed. And, now they're home for back or 5 more. So I lean with Phoenix here off a loss. When Phoenix lost to Portland, what did they do against the Clippers? Oh, yeah, they covered by 18 points. When they lost to Portland game 1, what did they do game 2? They covered by 8.5 points, winning by 20. I was on Phoenix off the loss. So Phoenix off the loss to me is an automatic. I'm going to shoot one out to you as well. This Minnesota team has only played 3 road games, at OKC, at San Antonio, at Phoenix. 3 games this deep into the season. They are playing Phoenix today, then they go to Memphis, then they go to Cleveland. I will almost automatically be looking to fade Minnesota in the first half against both Memphis and Cleveland this upcoming week.
Yeah, those are some good points right there. I forgot that I did see Chris Paul was game time decision. He was kind of downgraded to questionable in this game. So maybe that's another reason why this line has really went down. It could be, they do have campaign back though. So you do have a point guard that can step back in there. It's definitely a tough game. A lot of moving parts in that one, my guys. 2 more games here and then we'll get up out of here. We're going up here to the streets of Sacramento. We got the Kings getting 4.5 points versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Here, guys, total sitting at 227 here, Skee. Obviously, Cavs coming off their loss versus the Clippers. And the Kings come back home off their 4-game road trip. How you think the Cavs can bounce back in this one?
Yeah. I'm not a big believer in this Sacramento team. I know a lot of people like them, but they just haven't shown it for me. I like Keegan Murray. I think he's a great talent, and I like him for maybe, I like his rookie season, but I just like the Cleveland Cavaliers a lot more. They're 8-2 as far as the categories that I care about. They're top 10 offensive rated team, defensive rated team, rebound percentage the last 5 games. So number 2 3-point shooting team, and Sacramento's bottom 5 defending the 3. I just think it's a ripe spot for Cleveland to bounce back, and it's the only way I could look.
I like it. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off there, Ralph. What do you think about this one? The Cavs been one of the best teams in the NBA so far early season. Kings been somewhat of a sleeper as well, but not the greatest spots for them. You think the Cavs bounce back here out on the West Coast?
No question. I mean, you look at their losses. They lost to Toronto the opening game, and then they lost to the Clippers, where they allowed the Clippers to go on a 21-4 run to end the game because they were playing on a second of back-to-back. When I have this guard combo, maybe the best guard combo in the NBA healthy, and what I love about this is the chemistry. I'm from Cleveland. A lot of you know that, lived there 50 years, used to be a Cavs season ticket holder. And what I'm so impressed with is Kevin Love. Kevin Love has just become the mentor of these guys. He plays his minutes. He's playing with such excitement. He's giving them leadership. And this team is one of the most cohesive. I mean, I read all the behind-the-scenes stuff, and you hear the players talk, and you watch the press conferences and the quotes. I am very, very high on the Cavs, and this defense is incredible, except, again, the only 2 games they've allowed any poor defense performances when they were playing the Celtics on the road and that Clippers game on the second of back-to-back. It's the Cavs or nothing for me.
Yeah, that's a good point. And me personally, I like the Cavs early. I'd be looking at Cavs maybe first quarter, first half in this game as well, fading the Kings coming off their road trip, first game back at the house. So Cavs early definitely would be strong. I remember last year they were a really great first quarter team, especially on the road. It really surprised this team with their defense and just their level of physicality and it being so hard to get to the rim. So Cavs -1 in that first quarter. That's where I'd be looking at that one. Last game up here, guys. Sure, Skee couldn't wait to talk about this one. We got the LA showdown here. We got the Clippers laying 3 at the house versus the Lakers here, Skee. Late night ESPN game. Line opened up at 5.5 for the Clippers here. Has come down to 3 with all the money on the Clippers here. Do you think your Lakers can get it done today, Skee?
Well, I think there's at least some kind of motivation to, get a win versus the Clippers. The Clippers been beating on them for so long, and the Clippers been playing bad basketball. So, until the Clippers have just been. It was a lot of hype. Every year it's a lot of hype coming into this Clippers team. And they don't ever really live up to it, but especially this year, they just look bad. So until they start to, turn that around, I'm not looking their way, especially laying some points. So Lakers are past, and I'm not looking to bet any Laker games anytime soon as far as backing them. And as far as the total, I just think you can't trust the Clippers offense. The defense is the one thing that's been consistent for them. Lakers have kind of been up and down defensively, but it's been the only thing that they've kind of done well at points throughout this season. So I know Clippers will play slow. Both teams really good defending the 3. I'll probably look towards the under here or the Lakers.
That's a good point. That's a good look there on the under. We know the Clippers are going to play really. I always say this, Ralph. The Clippers are the perfect recipe for an under. They play really good defense, and the offense is really stagnant right now. Lakers been playing some good defense as well, but their offense hadn't been playing well. But they do like to push the pace to try to make up for their bad offense there. So, Ralph, how you looking at this Clippers and Lakers late night special?
Well, I'm going to give a plug to the Wager Talk NBA stat sheet, which I put on my Twitter page each day at CalSportsLV. The single best bet on that is the under in the Lakers and Clippers game. Clips now 2-9 over under this season. Average points scored in Clippers games, 211. Average total, 221. So we're not talking about eking games out. They've gone under by 10 points per game. And that's an important thing to look at when you're looking at over-under margins and the ATS margins. A team can be very fortunate by covering 1, 2, or 3 games by a point or two. When you have a team covering by 8 or 10 points, that's a much stronger angle for me. And I've got to ask you, Skee, because you're the LA guy, and you talked about how disappointing you are with the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers are, 6-5 without Kawhi, but the Lakers having 2 wins with LeBron and AD. Aren't the Lakers more of a disappointment than the Clippers?
Well, I would say no, only because coming into based on last year, nobody was expecting the Lakers to be good this year. A lot of people are saying the Clippers could be contenders. The Clippers going to come out of the West. And you were saying that too, Jay.
Come on, a 2-win Laker team.
The Lakers were still getting love for championship, all this. Once again, Lakers and Nets were still getting plenty of preseason love, and it's not working out. At some point, Skee, you kind of just have to. I know that the Clippers. No,
they weren't getting no love.
20 to 1's not. You know what the scary thing is? The scariest thing about the Lakers is LeBron and AD are both playing pretty well, and they still only have 2 wins. Imagine when one of those guys get banged up, or they lose one of them for a while. Oh my God! Basketball's over in LA. You don't know what to do.
Hey, it's going to be a great game tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers won this game tonight, to be honest with you. LeBron should be coming back. It's just the way I'm looking at it. So I know that the Clippers, and also, guys, it's early season. We can't panic here, right? Obviously, the Clippers don't even have Kawhi Leonard playing over there. He hadn't played for like the last 5 or 6 games. So, I feel like, I would panic if I'm a Lakers fan, in my opinion, sitting at only 2-8. But, regardless of this, you can't be a fan in this, guys. I don't really like the Lakers team, but I'd be looking – this is a game where I'd go against everybody. Everybody's going to be on the Clippers tonight. Whoever loses some games early, guess what they're going to do? They're going to take Clippers late night -3 on the ESPN. And me personally, I think it might lose. So I'm not official with the Lakers, but I do think this is a spot where they might be able to surprise some people here, guys. But I know Skee had one more game we talk about. Let's get over here to some free picks, my guys. But Skee, I know we didn't go through that game. If you like, you can talk about that Pacers game for the free pick. Also, let them know what you got going there. Wager Talk, my brother.
Yeah, I like all the ugly games today. It's a couple other games we didn't talk about that I like a little bit more than the ones we did. But NBA's been treating me well last 369 days, a little bit over a year. I'm plus 100 and a little bit over 103 units. And I know to start this year, I'm up a little bit under 11 units. So just looking to keep going there. I do have a best bet in the NFL, 5% play, and I'm 3-1 on my 5% sides there. So I've been doing well. I want to say I'm like 50-29, some kind of run like that. So looking to keep that going. And for the free play for tonight and best bet for tonight on the show, I will go with Denver and Indiana. And I just think you have to play this game over. Pacers, they've been really poor defensively. The main issue for Denver all season, really every year, is they can't stop anybody. They can score with the best. Both teams, they're top 5 offensive rated teams the last 5 games. You have Pacers, the worst team in the NBA defending the 3, and Nuggets are number 1 shooting it. Pacers playing up tempo. They're 11th in pace over the last 5 games, and I think Denver will feel comfortable running with them tonight. So I think you take the over 235 as the best bet in this game. And I'll continue to think about it throughout the day just to let you guys know. The first quarter margin for Denver is plus 5.1. First quarter margin for Indiana is minus 5.8. I think if you want to take Denver in this game, you do it early, get in and get out. But like I said, best bet for purpose of the show is going to be over 235.
That's a good point. That's a good point there. Ralph, I like the play as well, man. Couldn't talk you off. Ralph, what you got going over at Wage Talk and any play for us tonight, my guy?
Well, yeah, I mean, I have college basketball play loaded, NBA play loaded, a couple college football plays for today. But hey, if you're going to try something out, NHL. Last year was the first year I did NHL. I finished number 2 at Wager Talk. My 5%, which are the top plays at Wager Talk, 17-2, 90% on 5% NHL plays. If you're going over there, the 5% plays $35. Get the 1-day all access, and you'll get all the other plays $39. We talked about the best bet. It's an actual play that I released to my clients. Boston minus 12.5. Fits a couple nice systems. We talked about double-digit favorites have not been a negative. They've actually been a slight positive. And that system about teams that are coming off a big halftime deficit that win a game and are now a dog of 7 or more. So Boston Celtics, an actual release for me.
Yeah, that's a great points there. You could also get a combo of Skee and Ralph over there at Wager Talk as well, my guys. A 2-for-1 special. You don't even need a promo code for that as well. So go check us out, wagertalk.com. Free picks over there as well. We got the Wager Talk live odds screen. Go check us out, Skee and Ralph. A lot of great cappers over there as well. Rob Vino, Teddy Covers, a lot of great cappers over there at Wager Talk. Got some shirts on sale, man. I got to plug my promo in as well. $10 off shirts. Win 10. You can use promo code WIN10 over there at the site. Jay and Shark shirts only $15. Smack City, Us Against the Bookies, and Let's Get Some Cash shirts, my guys. Small, size small up to 3XL. JMoneyIsMoney.com, $10 off shirts, and you get a free pair of glasses as well. Use promo code WIN10, man. For me tonight, only one play for me. I'm going with the Magic plus the 7. If you'd like to wait on Banchero, I can understand it, but I like the Magic today, and I like the Mavs tomorrow. So Magic plus the 7. If you like the full breakdown, you can check out the show, or for every breakdown, if you want for all games today, you can check out the early show, 11 a.m. Eastern, every single day, my guys. Total of 6 plays over there. Go check it out. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Go holler at Skee and Ralph over at Wager Talk. Follow them on Twitter. Go check out the website, jmoneyismoney.com. We out, my guys. Let's get this cash.